how putting off your pain is one of the most costly mistakes you can possibly do. So listen, if you have been struggling with pain or you're suffering with not understanding what's been going on with your back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, headaches, different stuff like that, I'm so glad that you're here because we're going to be talking about why pain is lasting longer than it should, and one of the biggest costly mistakes that I see people doing all the time that's making their pain last longer than they should. And if that's you, great, stay tuned because we're going to be talking all about that. Hey there, it's Dr. Brooke at the Physio Revolution, #1 best-selling author and also chronic pain specialist. I am excited to talk to you today because this is one of the biggest subjects that I keep hearing is how people don't have time to tackle their pain. There's things going on in your life. I know everybody has it. You're busy with work, you're busy with family, you're busy with tackling all different things that are thrown your way, and it just seems like sometimes problems just don't stop. I would imagine you probably feel the same because that is what all of our clients are talking about. So many things are popping up right now, especially as seasons are changing. This forces everybody to kind of almost prepare for what's coming ahead. So a lot of things, a lot of busyness going on in your life and everybody else's right now. But here's the problem when it comes to pain. If you're not tackling it, it's a very, very costly mistake. Let me help you understand why this is happening and why pain is lasting longer than it should at this point. So in reality, right, if you're in pain, it's more than likely you're not so happy about it. So we're going to put you starting right here. But where you really want to be, right, is a place where you're happy and there's butterflies and unicorns and balloons and all that different stuff, right? So currently you're stuck in this position, but you know ultimately, you know you want to get out of pain, you know you want to get out of the stiffness, the achiness, and the problem is that now's not the right time because there's too many things popping up, right? So if you're like everybody else right now, in order to get over here, right, to where you want to be, we call this like a journey map. The problem is that we have a lot of things popping up in the way, right? So one might be like, hey, now's not the right time because maybe my kid is in school and I'm too busy being able to take them back and forth. My time is just too swamped at work. Everybody talks about how projects are happening. It's just too busy at work right now. And I started to even put things like, hey, yeah, finances aren't in order right now at this point. Or maybe my spouse or my partner need me right now. Or maybe there's a family event that's going on that's causing you to pay a little bit more attention to that. So I'm going to put family up here. There's so many things. There's different events going on. You have party, maybe travel as well, right? All these problems and almost some fun things too, don't get me wrong, right? But all these problems start coming into our life, and really what we do is we go, hey, I don't have time for me. I have time for everything else in my life and what everybody else needs from me. And when you start doing that, you're going to start pushing this journey out to where you're not going to be here anymore. Your journey is going to continue, and you're going to have to find your way over here to actually get to happiness, right? So this doesn't even exist. Like, you aren't even in the picture. You can't even put yourself first at this point. And that's the problem. When you're stuck in pain and all these events in your life start to become the priority in your life instead of you, this is where you're not going to get out of pain. Right? Even if you've tried little things, that's why everybody's like, no, yeah, that's why I'm doing heat, I'm doing cold packs, it helps a little bit. I've done some injections, they help a little bit. I'm doing a few stretches, it just helps temporarily. This is the problem because you keep putting little, small, short-term fixes in along with maybe all these events being priorities over the number one thing that needs to be a priority, which is you. You are the priority because you can't get out of pain if you don't put yourself first, right? And so really what has to come in front of all these problems and be at the forefront is yourself and being willing to say, hey, I know that these are, that they may be happening in my life, because this is one of the best sayings that I've ever been told about problems, right? They're just problems. It's almost like a factory belt in your life. Problems just keep coming. And if we latch ourselves onto one, we're going to make it bigger than we should. So if I latch onto work being a problem right now, I'm going to make it bigger than I should. If I latch onto events that are happening outside of my control, I'm going to latch onto it and make it bigger than it should. Instead of, hey, I need to latch onto me a little bit. I need to figure out me. So if I latch onto me and I can actually get to a point, right? And here's the irony in all of it. If you put yourself first and start fixing this person who's in pain or not happy with where you are in life, maybe not satisfied with currently your ability to do things or be present with family members because pain is stopping you or it's limiting from you from being who you are, right? Here's the irony in all of it. If you don't put yourself first, you can't show up for all these problems that come into your life and are inevitable. Right? So if you keep putting all these things in front of yourself, you're going to continue to push that journey out and not get out of pain. That's why it's lasting a lot longer for people than it should. But if you start putting yourself first, much like what they say in the airport, right? Or on a flight anywhere. We've heard it so many times. I know you have, right? The airbag drops down, and I wish I had it memorized. I don't. I don't even listen to them anymore because you have it memorized, right? But the airbag drops down, and we'd like you to put your mask on before you help others. Why? Because if you don't have oxygen to your brain, how can you actively think about helping somebody else? It's no different in this. If you don't start putting yourself first and taking care of your pain, how are you ever going to come up and be prepared for all of these events that are inevitable in your life? So listen, if you're at this point and you're just saying, I've got to start putting myself first, now maybe not the time because of all these events that are coming up in my life, I dare you to think about what the problem is when you don't put yourself first and how you're actually going to show up to these problems when you don't put yourself first versus if you were able to help yourself first, what that would look like. So these are just excuses in my book. I mean that with all love and kindness and caring, because if you keep putting excuses in front of yourself, you're never actually going to get to a point where you need to be, which is pain-free, happy, active, showing up for your loved ones, showing up for your family members, showing up at work better. Everything starts to feel better when you're in sync with yourself. And we see this so much from clients. So listen, if you're ready to put yourself first and you want to talk about what's been going on with your pain specifically, what's been happening with your back pain, your knee pain, your shoulder pain, neck pain, whatever that is for you, and you want to know if what we do is a good fit for you and if you'd be a good fit for us, because we don't take on all clients. We only take on clients that we know 100% that we can help. So if you're interested in knowing what we do that's a little bit different, a little bit unique, and find out if we can help you, the best place to start is just by booking your link or booking your call down on the link just directly below this. You'll talk to one of our team members about what's been going on, tell them the story about your pain journey, because everybody has a different journey. So you'll express and tell them about what's been going on with you. We'll have a good discussion around if this would be a good fit and what that looks like moving forward. And you can ask them all the questions that you have about what this looks like when we work with people that we know that we can help. So first place for you to start is just clicking down on the link below. Register yourself for a time to talk to one of my amazing team members, and we'll take it from there. So listen, time to put yourself first, because if you're struggling with pain and you keep saying now's not the time, think about what you're actually doing when you say that. So, all right, click the link down below. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.